It's Radar here with another On the Radar Entertainment blog, weekly baseball observation, week 13 of the baseball season. The Cleveland Indians are not got off to the start that everybody imagined with them running away with the division, but they still have a chance to make the playoffs this year because it's early. But one thing that they keep doing is they're playing Jake Bauers in the outfield. He's not an outfielder, he's a first baseman, and he only played the outfield because you opened up the season with Brad Miller and Hanley Ramirez on your active roster. They took away at bats at DH. And Francisco Lindor also started the year on the DL, and Leonys Martin was the open day center fielder, and he was the leadoff hitter. Now Leonys Martin is gone, and Lindor is healthy. Hanley Ramirez is gone. Brad Miller is gone. But again, they're playing Jake Bauers in the outfield because they called up a first base DH hitting prospect, not an outfield prospect. First base DH hitting prospect. And that sort of thing causes Bauer to play the outfield. And his value isn't his bat. His value is not in playing the outfield whatsoever. And again, Lindor's value is he's the best, one of the two best way players in baseball. He should be batting second or at least third because if he's going to hit 30-plus home runs, you'd rather him come up with many runners on instead of him just by himself. But they don't really have other alternatives because Leonys Martin, they got rid of him. So the only other option is if you make the rookie Mercado to be the, leadoff hitter as well, or Tyler Naquin, or maybe when Bradley Zimmer comes back. But again, there's not really like an amazing option, so they're just doing what they can. The Jays, on the other hand, they're not going anywhere this year. It's all about the youth movement, but they continue to play Eric Sogard at second base every day instead of Richard Urena or Gurriel Jr., or even Brandon Drury playing second base. They're playing Sogard at DH some days, which then is silly because you should be DHing Smoke, Tellez, or Drury, or Guerrero, two guys who play both corner infield positions, two for each thing. DHing Sogard is a waste. If you want to play Biggio at second base, the son of Craig Biggio's son Kevin, that's fine, but why play Sogard in general? At the same time, playing Lourdes Gurriel in left field is only because you want to make him more versatile and you brought him back down in the minor leagues just because he was struggling in the major leagues. But Freddie Galvis, Eric Sogard, they're not your future. Gurriel is your future. He's playing shortstop. Because when he plays left field, and then you play Brandon Drury in right field when he's more of a corner infielder, and then you play Randall Grichuk in center field, you're really putting a really bad defensive outfield out there as well, and that's not good for anybody's development. It's not good for Brandon Drury to get consistent at bats because he's not playing every day. He's playing every couple of days, and it's just playing people out of position is silly. And then I see Eric Sogard also getting a start in right field. I'm like, what? That's silly. And the Cubs still don't have a real leadoff hitter, so Schwarber's batting leadoff and Bryant's batting second. The Cargills-Gonzalez experiment is over, so now Chris Bryant should not have to play right field as much because Hayward should be playing right field and Almora should play center. No. They're continuing to play Chris Bryant in the outfield, which is silly. And then the other day they played Contreras in the outfield. And yes, he made a great throw from the outfield, but he's a catcher. He's got an amazing arm. He can fire it, from the outfield. Because he has a bunch of career innings in left field, but that's left field. Because he played right field and the ball clanked off his glove, and then later in that inning, Schwarber, the ball clanked off his glove and the Pirates won. That is just a recipe for disaster. Two catchers in the outfield. You're lucky it wasn't Hayward in center field too, because that would have been probably the worst defensive outfield. So they haven't figured out the leadoff spot, but the right field spot is fine. They're paying Hayward all that money. Keep Hayward in right field. Chris Bryant's your franchise guy. You play him at third base. No, I don't care if you're Bodie, Descalso, or Addison Russell. You got to play Chris Bryant at the actual position he is, or he's just going to walk away because he's just going to be like, yeah, you keep playing him in the outfield. I don't want to be in the outfield. And they're stuck with Schwarber unless they trade him because Schwarber's going to have no position with Rizzo at first base. So that's a problem. Now the Marlins, they don't know what the hell they're doing because Miguel Rojas is starting so many games at shortstop and they're playing JT Riddle in center. JT Riddle's not a center fielder. He's a shortstop. Then they're playing Brian Anderson in right field like they do with Cooper in right field, when Cooper should be playing first base, and Brian Anderson already established himself as a good enough Major League player last year that he should be playing third base. That's why Prado is only playing like second base or first base whenever Castro or Walker doesn't play. But I've seen them playing Neil Walker at third base and playing Anderson in the outfield. Walker, Prado, they're veterans. You got them as backups. You don't really need to play them every single day. So there's no need to play Cooper in the outfield. There's no need to play Rojas every day and play Riddle in the outfield. There's no need to play Cooper, Anderson in the outfield. It's not a good idea. And they picked up a journeyman outfielder. Stop playing these journeyman guys. Playing Gidio Rivera at third base and first base. No. Play the young guys. You're not going anywhere. The backups just are backups. Is the whole point. Phillies, after losing McCutchen to injury and Duo Herrera with his issue, you thought, okay, Roman Quinn's back. He's going to play center field and lead off. Nope. Sean Kingery, the shortstop, is leading off in either center field or left field, and they're not even trying Gene Segura in the leadoff spot when that's where Gene Segura should be. And the Rangers, they got Gallo back, but you have Delano DeShields Jr., Danny Santana, and Willie Calhoun's a natural born second baseman who you just threw in the outfield. With his speed, and you just want his bat, you could play him in center field and see what happens. But they continue to play Gallo in center field when he should be playing left field maybe, or DH first base, because some days they're DHing people at first base or DH that, they're not really DHing. And then the Tigers, for a while, Nicky Castellanos batting third or fourth with Cabrera. That's perfect. Now he's batting second. That's not where he goes. He's the middle of the order guy. And the Nationals still batting Adam Eaton second, but if they're winning games, it's not the end of the deal, but his most value is leading off. The Braves are still doing the Ronald Acuna being a center fielder and a leadoff hitter, and they're playing infielders in the outfield, and they got a lot of starters in the bullpen. So hopefully when Ender Inciarte comes back, it will align the outfield a lot better. But for now, they're infielders in the outfield. Acuna in center. The Mariners keep starting relief pitchers when they have starters in Malone and LeBlanc and Leak. They got all these. They got enough bodies to start, and even in their bullpen, they got Bass and a couple other guys who could. If they're the opener, they can go 2 or 3 innings. They don't need to go 1 inning. And there's no need to DH Omar Narvaez when you have Mac Williamson and Kyle Seager and Domingo Santana and Daniel Vogelbach on your team, and batting him in the middle of the order. No, and then they're playing their backup infielder that opened up the season in the outfield too. And then the Twins are playing a second base prospect that nobody's ever heard of, Amaro Gonzalez, in the outfield. If Byron Buxton's healthy and so is Max Kepler, there's no need to play infielders in the outfield. And any time that, Cruz or Corona the day off, Sano should be playing first base or DH. Not like a backup shortstop or, infielder. And then the Brewers having Yasmani Grandal leading off. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Lorenzo Cain has been great in the leadoff spot. The only thing I would say is maybe use Yelich down to the 3 spot instead of batting second. And Hernan Perez is off the Brewers' active roster, and he's that utility infielder who got lots of at-bats at first base and the outfield. It's one thing if Tyler Saladino, who's now in the role that Hernan Perez is in, he gets to start at first base, even though the Brewers have like 3 guys who can play first base. That's one thing, he's an infielder, but he's playing the outfield too. You're going to make him also into Hernan Perez and make him play the outfield. That's not where Saladino plays, but I think when you have Ben Gamel and Eric Thames, you have enough corner outfielders, but whatever. And the Dodgers continue to bat Jock Peterson lead off, and sometimes Muncy second and do their sluggers at the top of the lineup, and Max Muncy playing second base when if he's going to play second base, you could have made the second baseman the whole season, Bellinger the first baseman the whole season, or Freeze the first baseman, but they keep playing Jock Peterson at first base when both Beatty and Bellinger and Max Muncy all could play first base. All of them. And Austin Barnes could play first base because there's no need for him to ever play second base. And then I see Bellinger in center field. Oh my God. If Jock Peterson's at first base and Bellinger's center field, there's something wrong there. One's a natural born center fielder, one's a natural born first baseman. The Angels, even though they got Andrelton Simmons and Justin Upton back, and they're trying to get themselves healthier, they're still batting Trout second when that's not where he should be batting. And then I see Trevor Cahill pitching out of the bullpen as they have an opener and then he comes in. I'm like, no, he's good enough to start. Then the Cardinals, even with Matt Carpenter injured, it's still Goldschmidt sometimes batting second. He should be batting in the middle of the lineup. They did a smart thing in Interleague. They had Jose Martinez DH. That's good. He's right now just in the lineup for his bat. Then the Padres, again, starters in the bullpen and relievers starting. And it was one thing when they started Barris Will Myers to play him in center field because they did that when they first got him. But now they're having Hunter Renfroe play center field because Will Myers in a slump. If you want to play Reyes and Renfroe, fine. But then you start Manuel Margot. If Frankie Cordero's injured, you call up an actual center fielder. Like if you still have Jankowski in AAA because you lost Dickerson and you don't have that Matt Caesar guy a couple of years ago, it's like, then do that. It's one thing to have Will Myers now playing center field because he did it previously for you. But now they're asking Hunter Renfroe, who's not even that great of a defensive outfielder to begin with, to play center field instead of the rookie Josh Naylor. Like if Josh Naylor's a rookie, rookies should accommodate veterans. They play wherever you want. The Reds are playing Senzel in the outfield because right now they have too many infielders and not enough good outfielders. Like Naylor should be playing center field. But if you want to play Naylor and you want to play Renfroe and you want to play Reyes, then you got to decide which of the two you want to play, and Margot should get an opportunity to play every day in center field. It's really hard for him to get a rhythm if he's not playing every day and you're playing guys out of position. I understand the Giants batting Brendan Belt 1 in the leadoff spot and second, or in playing him in left field. He's your first baseman. You bat in the middle of the order. He's not should be batting 1 or 2. Yeah, you don't want to bat Brandon Crawford lead off, but Solano and Joe Panic and Dickerson, you got enough guys, and in Yastrzemski's grandson, try them as a leadoff hitter, see what happens. And then the Diamondbacks have continue to be like, we'll have Adam Jones bat leadoff. You got Ketel Marte and Gerard Dyson. There's nobody else that should be batting leadoff besides those two guys. And the Red Sox continue to have Blake Swihart syndrome with their catcher, Kristen Vasquez. When Kristen Vasquez is known for having a great arm, good defensive catcher all around, and Swihart was a work in progress for hitting, I'm seeing Vasquez come into games and play third base. Have him come in and play first base, which is not a big of a stretch. And when you have Michael Chavis on your roster, who has played first and second and third, you move into third base. You have this Marco Hernandez guy. You have him come play third base. You got enough guys in your roster. There's no need for having your defensive caliber catcher play third base in general. This is like where you should be. And then the Yankees, their mistake is Aaron Judge batting second, and DJ Mayo continue to bat leadoff. No. Brett Gardner's been your leadoff hitter for a while now. He's good where he is. DJ Mayo won the batting title out of the second spot. I know Gleyber Torres was the open day second baseman, and Odor was the third base, and it was because they had started Didi in the DL, Gleyber slid over to shortstop, and DJ Mayo got to play second base this year. But I would rather have Giovanni Urshela sit and play Gleyber Torres at third base and LeMahieu second base where he won a Gold Glove. There's no need for LeMahieu to play first base whatsoever either. You have enough first basemen. I don't know where Greg Bird went, Luke Voigt went on the DL, and you got Edwin Encarnacion. You got enough guys that you could play him at first base if Luke Voigt's injured. You don't have to necessarily DH him. There's no need for DJ LeMahieu to play first and third when you can play Gleyber Torres who's a shortstop at third base and have Urshela come in to play defense and keep LeMahieu where he's set. Then the A's, I've seen Cannon Pinder play the outfield. I know Piscotty's hurt, but I'd rather play Robbie Grossman in right field or call up somebody else to do that instead of having Cannon play right field, but yeah. And the Orioles, they can't go a day or two without Trey Mancini playing right field or batting second, first base DH, and maybe the occasional left field if you have Chris Davis and Ruiz or Nunez in the lineup. He was playing left field his whole major league career. The shift to right field is silly. And the Sox, with Tim Anderson injured, I've been saying he should bat second before he got hurt. But now they're batting Moncada second. Moncada should be batting third, and Nebraska should bat cleanup. Eloy should be batting fifth. McCann should be batting sixth. And then, if Polka's in the lineup and you're DHing him, then you can bat Polka seventh. And then you go whoever's playing second base, and right now whoever's playing center field or right field, because I feel like if Laura Garcia's fine where he's leading off right now at shortstop, and John Jay's playing right field, John Jay could bat second. He's a contact hitter. And then the Pirates, Pablo Ozuna, I've seen him play center field, first base, third base, and anywhere else in the field. So if Jungle Gong is getting started shortstop, Colin Moran should be playing every day. He's got a good enough bat that he should be playing third base every day. And if Gong is playing shortstop, that's the only reason that he's playing shortstop is to get Moran to play third base, not to have Ozuna play third base, because Ozuna could play shortstop or second base, because you got Kramer and Newman that can play shortstop. So there's no need for Colin Moran to play second base. Now that was a Week 13 baseball observations. I'm Radar for On the Radar Entertainment blog. And before we go, just wanted to take a moment to say rest in peace to Angels pitcher Tyler Skaggs, who passed away this week. We will remember you. The baseball committee took a loss, and you'll always be remembered, Tyler. So we should dedicate the rest of the season to you. Number 45. This was Radar for On the Radar Entertainment blog. See you next week.